Welcome back to No Cap Recaps. I'm your host Denzel, and today we will be recapping 28 years later. All right, but before we jump into this recap, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment on this platform, on this video, and go look at the other videos that I posted in the past. There's some very good ones that I wanted to let you know about. So let me just jump right into it. 28 years later, Danny Boyle's 28-year day week franchise has finally given us another sequel of this long-awaited movie. 3 decades nearly, right? Crazy, right? Let's break this down really quick. Where are we at with 28 days later, 28 weeks later? 28 days later, you find this patient that just woke up from a coma, and the whole world over there in Europe has fallen into the apocalypse with the rage virus that turns people instantly into zombies. Simply put, 28 weeks later is more of the quarantine effort by the European forces as the rage virus continues to spread, and they're trying to contain and sanitize and pretty much have to, bomb a spot if need be. 28 years later now is where we find societies in the somewhat a pre-industrialized era at this point, because now they've fallen back into these primitive ways due to the rage virus continuously evolving and taking over the mainland. So now the survivors are on Lindisfarne, I don't know how to pronounce it. Lindisfarne Island. They're on this island, sitting around with water. The only way to get to this island, there is a road that appears during low tide, but when high tide comes, it takes over the road at that point. Nothing can cross at that point. It's a great barrier between them and the virus, which is keeping them safe and alive. Now they have villages, they have a community, they have farming, fishing, they're performing communal rituals and what have you. So they've built and cultivated this universe now on this one small island. And so at times we meet a dad, a son, and a mom. The son, Spike, 12 years old. It's about time for him to become a man. His dad takes him out into the mainland so he can start to learn how to feed himself, how to prepare things, and understand what is out there that he needs to fight and be able to protect himself from. So they get into all these kinds of different circumstances, situations. We see different things with these zombies at this point. And what I definitely wanted to bring up is the evolution of the virus. So there's 3 different pillars, I would say, with these new zombies that quite interesting. One, they have a pack mentality. Some of the zombies now move as wolves or as hyenas, so they are very strategic in their movements. Also, what we've seen is that with these new zombies, they have signs of cooperation. They also have signs of reproduction. Very weird, to say the least. Now, we also have these other ones. They're like very slow. They're like boomers. If you ever played Left 4 Dead 2, there's these boomers. But these things creep and they crawl, and they're very slow and sluggish. They actually eat worms, stuff like that. It's really weird to see and watch. But they can be very quiet and stealthy, and they can creep up on you, so you got to be very wary of those. Now, the main zombies that you got to be worried about, they travel in the pack zombies, which they're quite fast, and they're the leaders. They're known as the alphas. So these are massive, intelligent, terrifying. The rage virus is known to be as a steroid to the body. So the alpha is getting the 100% dose of this steroid. And to say the least, the alphas, there's going to be some stuff, I guarantee you, that people are going to be making on TikTok about the alphas. You're going to be like, what are you talking about? I can't even go into it. I'm not even going to go into it. I can't do it. So the alphas, so they're smart enough and they're tough enough to take 3 or 4 different arrows and keep trekking along. So these are the things that you dream about. These are the nightmares, right, that you have. Boyle does a very good job with these different zombies and the evolution of the rage virus, as we saw once Spike and his dad get off into the mainland. But within this movie, Spike realizes his dad's infidelity, along with realizing that his dad knows of a doctor on the mainland that could potentially cure his sick mother. Spike decides to take his mother to the mainland. She is very sick, absolutely sick, right? Which to me is just like, crazy at that point. Like, dude, what are you doing? And so he takes her to the mainland, and they are then navigating the mainland to find this crazy doctor who could potentially diagnose his mom and potentially save his mom. That's where I'm going to leave it, because that's the main premise in the storyline of the movie. It's a coming of age type of movie, survival, morality. What is morality once again? To what degree will unconditional love keep you and take you at its core for 28 years later? So they explored quite a few things here. Was memory and survival and regression. They really wanted to display that regressive piece of society. Even when the mainland, there was a beauty about the mainland because now it was untouched. It wasn't industrialized anymore, and actual nature could cultivate as it used to. You've seen huge droves and herds of deer and animal cascading across the mainland. It was quite elegant and beautiful to see. With the cinematography, I would say that was quite gripping scenes, close-ups, jump scares, innovative. They used iPhones or smartphones or handheld cameras as well to do these scenes and these shots. I would say it was quite epic overall, right? Very bright, natural lighting, dynamic editing and freeze framing from what I was able to see and understand from how they were shooting this. So overall, I was thinking that it was quite inventive to watch. Now, my final thoughts. I hated this movie. Absolutely hated it. I'm sorry. 28 weeks later, 10 times better. This one, Rotten Tomatoes gives it 95%. I ain't there with it. We meet this crazy doctor, and what happens at the end of the movie, I'm sitting there like, ain't no way. But if I'm Spike and I'm waking up to what has happened, the doctor would be dead. I'm sorry. The doctor would have died that day. I would have put his skull on the top of that thing, or whatever that thing was. And then there was the pregnancy scene. Who said that this was the scene? Who wrote that off? I thought it was okay. I thought when we were starting the movie, I was like, all right, that makes sense. Okay, that's cool. But when it just drifted directly to Spike and the mom, I felt somewhat let down, to be completely honest with you. I didn't like that spin at all. I really didn't. I wanted the dad to be there. I thought that it was going to be the dad and the son being stuck on the mainland. Cool with me. Let's see how they get down. I'm fine with that. And then at the end, where we see the Power Rangers come out, they flipping and skipping, and all of them got blonde hair. Okay. I said, all right. We about to have a Dejum comedy. This is what this about to be. It's about to be a comedy. I give it a 4. I give it a 4 out of 10. You can let me know what you think in the comment section. No, that movie was great. It's awesome. No, that movie was trash. I'm sorry. That movie was absolute trash. I'm not going to watch that ever again in my life. I will watch 28 weeks later. I watched 28 days later. 28 years later, I can't do that. I don't know if this was worth the wait. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I don't know why they did it. They could have spent some more money instead. They could have just put some, instead of doing it on them digits. I don't know. Anyway, I was highly upset by the middle of the movie. But with that, you let me know what you think about the movie. You still go and watch it. You go spend your money because I spent my money. And until next time, y'all be easy.